Hey everyone, it's Chrissy. I am getting to you guys now because I have to set up my new tubing for my 670G. So I'm just going to show you what the process looks like. I have to do this about every 3 days. So one of the first things that I have to do is I have to go into options. And when I go into options, then I have to go, oh, that was into utilities, sorry. When I'm in options, I then see reservoir and tubing, and then I want a new reservoir, and then it will rewind. Now, while it is rewinding, which just means that piece is going down a little bit further so that my insulin can go in there, this is everything that I use for my diabetes. So the first thing, obviously, I have my tester, my Contour Next link. The next thing that I have, I'm missing just a few pieces, but it will be in the next video. I have my sensor and everything, most of everything I need to connect for that. And then right here is everything that I need for my pump. So it sounds like this is just about done rewinding. And then it will come up here in just 1 second. Okay, so it'll tell you the rewind is complete. Then it tells you to fill the reservoir. So the first step is filling the reservoir here. All right, so you just take it out of its wrapper. And then generally what I do is I go to a little bit more than one. This is the amount of insulin that I'm gonna use over the next 3 days. So what I do is I make sure to fill it up with that air first, so that once I put my Humalog bottle onto it, I then press that air into the bottle. So then what happens is that it will slowly fill up my reservoir to where I need it to be, which is just a little bit more than one. So I always, at the end of this, I always just kind of tap it a little bit, make sure that any air bubbles are towards the top, and I push it up just a little bit and then redraw just a little bit back out. Okay, so then you take that Humalog bottle out, so you're done with that. And then what you do is take off the bottom piece. So you just turn it a little bit and it will come out. So that's the first step. I'm gonna throw the trash off to the side here. Then the next part, and it's nice because this tells you to, it says connect the tubing to the reservoir. Do not connect to the body. That is one of the most important parts. Do not connect to the body because you have to fill that tubing with the insulin first. So I'm gonna then take my tubing. And what's nice, what comes with the quick set, sorry, I dropped that. What comes with the quick set is a piece that you can actually use during the summer. I use this a lot for when I go swimming, because then what I do, I'll show it to you towards the end, but it's always nice to save these. Now, you have to take the end here of the tubing. You take the top part off the reservoir. It's just a little twist, and you pull down. And then you then just push it on and then spin it just a little bit there. So that part is taken care of. Now, what I have to do is just put it into my pump and then twist it just a little bit. And then when I do that, I just press next. Now it says please place the reservoir into pump and lock. Do not connect to the body. What they mean by connect is putting this piece into your body. Do not connect yet because you have one more step. So you go to next, and then it says select load and hold until complete. Do not connect to the body. Obviously they think that's very important, so make sure you don't do that. Okay, so you hold down load, and then you'll hear little beeps. Okay, so then what it's doing is this little piece is now pushing up until it meets that insulin reservoir right here that we filled. So we'll just give it a minute for that. Okay, so you'll hear a few beeps and then you see the check mark. So then you just press next and then it says fill. So generally what I do is I wait to see the insulin, just a few drops come out of the needle, which is right here. So I will see fill. Usually it goes until about 7 for me, but we'll see how much it is this time for me. Okay, so I saw a few drops of insulin, so it's just about 8. So then once I see drops coming out, it said hold fill until drops appear and then select next. So we are then gonna select next. Now it says insert infusion set into body, select fill to fill cannula or done if not needed. So a lot of people always ask, well, where do you put this? Okay, so I used to always give myself shots in my stomach area, but then it would create like hard deposits in my stomach just because I was always giving myself shots there. So now I connect more to my hips and my backside. I have an area designated, but all we have to do is just connect now. What I generally use for my sensor and for my pump is Skin Prep. So, and this is just to make sure that the area is nice and clean before you connect anything to your body. And I'm gonna clean a little bit of a larger area too, because in the next video, I'm gonna show you guys how to connect to your pump. Okay, so just make sure the area is nice and clean. Now, this, I call this my slingshot. People are like, why do you call it a slingshot? It's kind of what it does. Okay, so what I'm going to do, take that little piece off, okay? Then what happens is that you have this piece that you start with it, the white part up at the top. Then you insert it, and I just push it down a few times, and you can see I'm pushing it down a few times from here. And I take off the blue piece, and then I take off the white piece. I just take off one just to make sure, and then that's what it looks like. So you see that needle, and then there's a plastic piece that's around that, okay? So then I take off the white piece, and then I pull it all the way down until you hear it click. Now, once that happens, you have to then connect. So what I do is I put it to exactly where I want it. And then what I do is I then just press down or press on both sides. I'll turn here. Okay, so then what happens is I press the blue part of that down, and then I lift up, and as you guys can see, kind of, this blue piece is still there. I had to take that out because that is the actual needle, okay? So what's nice about this is you just fold it over, no more needle, and now I am connected to my pump, okay? Now, like I said, this piece comes in handy when, say if you want to go swimming, you can just twist and disconnect from your tubing and your pump, and then you can just twist this on, because there's obviously insulin that's going through here and into your body. So then you just twist that on so that no water or anything will get in there, and then you don't get an infection. So I don't need that now. I'm done swimming. Summer's over, technically. Twist it back on. Now, this is the next part. I do not wear a little pager thing on the side of my hip. If you do, that's fantastic. Good for you. I can't do it. So generally what I do, this is a little bit too much information, but I wear a sports bra now just because it's easier for me to just put it in my sports bra and then you don't see it. Like I said, I obviously wear a little bit more form-fitting clothes. So if I ever need to check my blood sugar, all I do is I just pull it out, do what I need to do, which I did forget a step. I fill, it says verify fill amount, select fill now. When ready, select back to cancel. So I fill now, and then it fills through the tubing, and voila. I didn't think that would take 10 minutes. So the next video is going to be for my sensor, so stay tuned.